Hi, this is Veeresh and today in this video we will see how we can block a specific IP address for a specific period of time, or we can block it completely using Django. I found three solutions for this problem and we will discuss it one by one. First one is using the default throttling. So if we use a default throttling, so once the server restarts, the data will be lost. Requested IP address will be lost, and he can able to request as many times as he want. So second con is that can't make the specific IP block. So if my IP is 192.168.1.1, so I can't be able to configure the system to block only this particular IP while allowing access to others. And third con is that I can't change the request count of a particular IP. So suppose for example my IP address is the same again, like 192.168.1.1. so if I made the 6 requests earlier, and I can't able to reset that request count for that particular IP address. So the fourth con is that I can't block specific IP whatever time we want. So if like suppose I want the particular IP address, again the previous one, like that is 192.168.1.1. so for 3 days only for this IP, so I can't be able to do that using the default throttling. The second approach is using the middleware and the decorator. For this I will go with the middleware, so let me know your choice. So again in the middleware we can go with the process request, or we can go with the process response. So after computing the heavy operations in the views and deciding whether to send the response to the user or not, doesn't make sense. So for this I will go with the process request. So in the process request, first we will check in the DB whether the particular IP address has reached the maximum request count or not. So if it doesn't, so we will send the request to the views and we will send him the request. So if he has reached the maximum request count, so we will send the forbidden as a response. Using the approach 2, we can perform all the things that we can't do able to do in the approach 1. So the cons of the second approach is that there is an increase in the response time. So approach 3 is catching the data in the database, and whenever a user make the request over Django application, it first goes to the middleware. So I have written the logic in the process request, so where we will check whether the requested user has reached his maximum request count or not. If not, we will send that request to the views, or else we will send the request as forbidden and he can't be able to access our requested API for this specific period of time. So by implementing the approach 3, we can perform all the operations which we failed to do in the approach 1, and we can also see that there is a reduced response time compared to the approach 2. This is the approach 1 by using the default throttling. So I will uncomment this, and we will go to the terminal, and this is the IP address. I'm running this in the local network, so and this is the IP address of my device. So I will hit run server. So the server is up now. Mobile to access the API, and so this is the API endpoint. So I will make a request now. Okay, this is the response we got, and it is saying access granted. So an anonymous user can make 10 requests per second. If he exceeds, the IP will be get blocked. So I made one request now. So I will refresh the page. Like I made second request. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is the 11th request. So I made the request and I got request was throttled, expected available in 3565 seconds. So I will refresh. So I can't be able to access the server. So what I will do, I will restart the server again. So I stop the server and I will restart it again. So as you can see, the server is up now. So when I refresh the page, so I got access granted. I'm sorry, I got the access granted. So approach 2 is saving the IP address in the database. So this is the database. So I'm using the Postgres here, and this is our database table. And for you, I will refresh the table again. So as of now, we have no data here. So this is the empty. So we will go back to our VS Code. So and I have already commented this and made necessary changes in the middleware. So I will go to my mobile now. Okay, go back to terminal and run the server. So I try to access the API through my mobile now. So okay, so I will make the request to the API. So I made the request. So I will refresh 1, 2, 3. So we will go back to the DB and check whether the IP address got saved in our DB or not. So I will refresh the table. So as you can see here, this is our IP address, and this is the last requested time, and we made 4 requests. So we can confirm that here as well. So we made 4 requests. So I will make another request now. Even though I have made the 8 requests, I guess, right? So we have made 8 requests, right? So if I want to block this IP, so what I can do here is, like, I will check this and save this in the DB and save the details. And if I try to access this API, so I access this API, and we can see here is rate limit exceeded, access forbidden, can access after 23 VPN. So if you made only 8 requests out of 10, so we can block this IP even permanently. Third approach is using the database cache. So I'm using a cache table as my storing all the caches. So when I refresh the table, so as of now we don't have any caches in the DB. So what I will do, I will uncomment this line, and I will go back to the terminal and up the server. So so the server is up now. So what I will do, so I paste the URL and I make the request, and I got the response. I will try to make the request again. So I got the response, and if we go back to the Postgres and if I refresh the table now, so as we can see here in the cache key, I'm storing the IP address. So this is the IP address, and this is its expiration time. So when I try to do the same thing with the postman, so this is the postman, and I'm passing nothing in the body. So when I make the request to this URL, so I made the request, and I got access granted. So basically that means I got the response 200. Okay, so when we go to postman and refresh the table again, so as you can see here, we got two rows here. So this is the first IP, and this is the second IP. I want to change the request count of a particular IP. So what I will do, I will open up the shell. So okay, I open the shell. I will copy paste some things here. I imported the cache, and I will import the date time, and so I will get the information like the request count of the this IP address. So we will see what is the current state of the IP. So currently its request count is, so this is the IP address, and its request count is what? Suppose I want to make it to 8. So what I will do, will copy, okay, copy and I will paste it here. So I will set the cache. Okay, so now we will, okay, I will get the cache again. So okay, now I will print its data. Okay, so as we can see here, the request count is 8 of this IP. So I will go back here and run the server, and I will try to access this API now. The request, and the request count is 8. So I will make another request. Now the request count is 9. So if I make the request again, and it is saying rate limit exceeded, access forbidden, can access after 23:59, after a day, that means. So if I want to unblock it, so what I will do, I will go back to the shell again, and what I will do, I will copy paste the thing again. Okay, instead of 8, I will make it to 3. Okay, so I pasted the data. Now what I will do, I will set the cookie now. I'm sorry, I will set the cache now. So set the cache, and we can confirm that by getting the cache back. So copy paste, and I print the data now. So this is the data, and as we can see, the request count is 3. And I go back to the terminal, and if I refresh, I can be able to access the API now. So if I refresh, the count increases. So this IP got blocked, and it is saying that can access after 6/8/1828 hours. So I will refresh it again. So it is saying the same. So can access after 6/8/1828. So what I will do, if you want to increase or decrease the access time, so what I will do, I will go back to the postman, and this is the IP address. I will refresh it again. View data all rows. So I refreshed, and I will go to the expire, and I will mention it to, so no, this will be confusing. So what I will do, I will move it to 2026, and I save the data, and if I refresh it now, so it is saying you can access after 26 here. So I mean 2026. So this is how we can block specific IP address for a specific time. So let us know what you think about this approach. Thank you.